Hello guys, this is session 20 of Complete Library Management System. In today's video, we want to fetch all the records from the book table and display them in the card manner. Let's get started. So here we have View Books button. When user click on this button, we want to open another JFrame. For that, first we want to create a JFrame, and here we want to select JFrame form. For example, View Books. So let's increase the size of this form. And after that, we want to drag and drop a panel. That is good. Thereafter, we want to change the variable name. For example, cards panel container. Right click on that and go to properties. And here we want to change the background color to white. So thereafter, we want to open that JFrame from the Manage Books JFrame. And here we want to right click on that. Let's remove this. Let's create object from the View Books form. Simple. View Books. For example, VBook equals new View Books. So let's call VBook.setVisible true to open another JFrame. So let's open View Books form. As you know that we want to display book details in a card manner, you can use table view also. There is no problem. So for saving some time, we have already typed some code, and that code can be used to generate a unique and professional card. Here we have three methods: init book cards method. Thereafter we have create book card. After that we have add item method. That is good. Let's select all the code. When you want to copy the code, okay, here we have an error. Cards container panel. We want to change name of the panel to that. That is good. As you can see, the error is fixed. Thereafter, we have another error. For that, we want to create card panel. Simple. JPanel. And then you want to create card panel. Once again, I mentioned that this code is responsible to generate card, and I want to display all the book details in a card manner. Instead of that, you can use table view also. There is no problem. And I prefer to the card because in the card we can display all the book details in a correct manner. That is good. Thereafter, we want to create a method to fetch all the records from MySQL database. Simple. Private void, for example, get books. So the method is created. After that, you want to open MySQL workbench. As you can see here, we wrote a simple query that has ID, title, ISBN pages, language, edition, and so on. And here we joined multiple tables like language, edition, publisher, volume, category, and row, because we will fetch records from multiple tables, and you can get the query script from the video description link. Let's execute that query to see the result. That is good. We got all the records from the book table. Let's copy that query. And here in the NetBeans, we want to define a variable. For example, string query equals, and we want to paste that query. So thereafter, we want to read database connection from JDBC connection class. For that, we want to use try catch with resources. Simple. Try, and then you want to define the catch block, SQL exception. So let's read database connection. Simple. We want to take variable connection. For example, link equals, we have JDBC connection class, JDBC connection dot get database connection method. Let's define the prepare statement also. Simple. Prepared statement PS equals link dot prepare statement. and you want to pass query. So after that, you want to execute that query. Simple. Here you want to take result set rs equals, we have ps dot execute query method. That is good. Here we establish the connection, we prepare the statement, and we executed the query, because the try catch with resources block can be used to close or clean up resources automatically, and there is no need to clean up the resources explicitly. So thereafter, you want to process this result set. For that, you want to use while loop, while rs.next. Okay, as you can see, in the query we have different columns like book ID, title, ISBN, pages, language, and so on. For that, we want to define variables, and we want to assign each column to a variable. Simple. For example, string, we have book ID equals rs.get string, and we have column book ID. That is good. After that, we have title. Simple. String title equals rs.get string of title. So for saving some time, you want to stop the video and you want to get all the columns using the same way. So as you can see, we define different variables, and to each variable we assign a column value. That is good. Thereafter, here we have a method create book card, and you want to call this method to create a card for each row data. One thing you remember, this method return JPanel. You want to create variable of type JPanel. Simple. And here you want to copy the method name, and you want to call inside that method. Simple. Here you want to take a variable JPanel, for example card equals, and you want to call that method. That is good. As you can see, this method accepts book ID, title, ISBN, pages, and so on. You want to select that. So here we pass different variable for the parameter. That is good. Thereafter, you want to add this card to card panel. Simple. We have card panel dot add card. Thereafter, you want to add vertical space between cards. Simple. Card panel dot add box dot create vertical struct, for example 10. So after that, for the best practice, you want to refresh user interface. Simple. We have card panel dot revalidate. Then you want to call card panel dot repaint method. So the method is completed. Let's call this method inside the constructor. We want to copy this method, and here we want to copy getBooks method. Thereafter, we have another method which is init book cards. We want to copy that also. Simple. So let's run the application to see the result. Let's click on the view books. That is good. As you can see, we got all the data from the book table. And here we have scroll bar. In case of more records, you can visit all the records using this scroll bar. That is good. Here we have a simple problem. You want to add vertical space between each card. And here we have box create horizontal struct. Instead of that, we want to use vertical struct. That is good. Let's run the application once again. And let's open view books. As you can see, the space is added. Okay, we loaded all the data from the book table. In our next video session, we want to implement the edit action. As you can see, in the card we have two buttons, edit and delete. And when user click on the edit button, we want to edit book details and when user click on the delete button, you want to remove book detail from the database. And if you have any questions, you can write them in the comment. Please like, subscribe, and share my videos. That is enough for today. Have a good day. See you in the next one.